Welcome to the Aspiring CMO podcast, where every week it is my immense privilege to sit down with successful entrepreneurs, content creators, and marketers to find out how they got to where they are today and what strategies and tactics we can learn to build our businesses and brands. Today's episode, I'm going to sit down with the co-founder of Sir Links-a-Lot, a successful backlink building agency. And if you don't know what that is, let's just get into the video.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of Annie's podcast. We're here today with Chris Gegis. Chris is one of the founders of SirLinks-a-Lot.co, a popular link building agency. Come to us for all of your backlink needs. Yeah, we also run a podcast. We've got a Facebook group. Am I missing anything?
No.
I think that's all the important stuff.
That's awesome. I was waiting for this moment because I've been following Sir Links-a-Lot for at least a year now. And the classic introduction from Chris always calms me. I'm ready for SEO.
Yeah, I was telling Annie before that I've had quests to do ASMR videos. So maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
Not yet, but maybe one day.
All right. So welcome to the show. I'm super happy you're here. And how has it been to travel and run your business at the same time?
Oh, I feel like it's actually way worse.
No way.
Way worse as far as getting work done, because you're always getting used to a new location or meeting people or doing something kind of cool. So it's way better for health reasons. I think just getting out, seeing more people. But as far as getting work done, I'm still trying to find my groove. Yeah, what do you think?
I think that traveling and working is just not that effective. But if you are in a place where a lot of people are working, like Chiang Mai, then you get to be productive. But other side of the world, I have not been.
Yeah. So I'm still trying to find my groove, right? But yeah, Chiang Mai, there's just so many people, so it's so easy to do other stuff versus just when I'm back in the US, I kind of just shut myself in and just get a ton of work done.
Awesome. How did you guys found the company?
So Sir Links-a-Lot started, I think, in 2017. Yeah, I was living I can't remember when I moved back to the US, but I was living in Shanghai at the time, and I was looking for a way out of teaching English. I used to be an English teacher. Yeah, so my co-founder Nick had been doing SEO for a while. He had Freedom Links before. It was a PBN company, and I had kind of started doing SEO. I had some local clients. I was doing some affiliate stuff just as a way to try to start getting out of teaching English and actually start making some money. And then I guess Nick saw that I was just kind of going all in, right? I was just spending all my time that I wasn't working just doing this other thing. And so he was like, well, hey, you want to start this other kind of little project with me? And the idea was it was going to be a link building company that was kind of fuller in scope than Freedom Links. Freedom Links was just PBN. Yeah. So yeah, that's how we got started. It started off really small. We were just doing link insertions, and then it kind of just expanded over time into offering kind of basically everything, right? Any kind of backlinks besides PR or Haro.
Okay. So what do you think that your company is doing different than other link building companies?
When I came into SEO, which was after Nick, my first impression of the industry was everything's a scam. None of this is real. Everything's a scam. I didn't trust anything. I was just I didn't believe anybody. And so my idea was, okay, we're just going to make an extremely friendly, trustworthy brand. We're not going to use overly aggressive kind of sales type stuff. We're going to actually have good customer service that answers you within a day and doesn't string you out for months and trying to before they fulfill your order or whatever. But yeah, it was just the idea of bringing anything a normal company would have to do to succeed and bring that into link building, which it just, to me at the time, it just seemed that wasn't there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was kind of the foundation of what we built everything on.
So today, how big is your company since Nick and you started?
We're in lower kind of 7 figures kind of zone. So we're pretty happy.
How is it lower? 7 figures is a big number. So
yeah. So probably around 1-2 million a year, something like that.
I hope every listener can listen to this, how you can turn your career from English teaching to a 7-figure company. Yeah, I think that's a cool story that you have there.
Yeah, I was really I remember when our first sale came in, right? And it was actually for something quite expensive. I think it was a package for $1,600. It was literally our first sale. And I was just so happy when that money came in. I was I didn't believe it. It was this isn't real. It just felt weird that, because it actually came in when I was sleeping as well. And it was just so weird. And I actually ran outside. I was so I was visiting my dad at the time. I'm hey dad, look. And he was he thought it was a scam or something.
No.
It was just, it was really funny.
It is. It is hard to believe that it is possible to make serious money on the internet and it's not a scam.
For sure.
Yeah.
We had Jackie Cho on our podcast recently, and he's actually a competitor. I think our last 2 guests have actually been competitors. They're also doing backlinks.
Indexy?
Yeah, Indexy. And then we had Julian Goldie on as well, who also does link building, really good guy. But, the idea, there's just such a big pie there. It doesn't matter. A million other people could come and do backlinks and we're still going to be fine. There's just so much opportunity opportunity there. And it feels like we're honestly just like scraping like the very like edge of it, just like barely getting in.
So do you think that because now, Google is really going for the authority website, as a result, your backlink building company has been growing?
It's hard to say, really. Actually, first of all, at the end of like every year, for some reason around this time of the year, it gets a little bit slower for some reason, like after Black Friday. During COVID, we kind of it was like we just grew like so fast. And now that COVID was over, we kind of expected to shrink a little bit. But yeah, it just kind of seems to keep growing. I think I got off track. What was the question again?
But no, like after, AI came in, plus Google started to hunt down affiliate website because of the crappy content. I was thinking that, and many people, that link building will have a lot higher value because links is going to be the differentiator between a DR20 versus, 50 website.
For sure. Yeah, so that's the idea, right? Is that as content becomes equalized and everyone's kind of on a similar level, even though they're really not, you still have to put in, I think, a decent amount of work in AI content to get it like acceptable, unless you're kind of doing more of like a churn and burn kind of like experiment type thing, or it just carries more risk, right? But yeah, I think, as far as like the future goes, I think link building seems like pretty steady, right? Because, I'm actually making a post. I make posts like this somewhat regularly, talking about how like backlinks are king, just to get some like engagement or whatever. But I really think backlinks are king, right? Because like if you go look at any competitive SERP, right? Like anything competitive, no like easy stuff, it's just dominated by high authority sites. Or you look at like Parasite SEO, like the entire reason Parasite SEO works is not because of good content, it's because these sites have a ton of authority. They're super general. They don't have topical authority. It's just like brute force backlink authority, right?
I see.
So yeah, it definitely feels kind of like a safe spot.
Yeah, awesome. And now, do you experiment with the Parasite SEO ever since? Do you experiment with
Parasite? No.
Okay.
Honestly, we're just kind of heads down, just like focusing on what we have right now and trying to scale that. But there is some Parasite SEO coming into like our SERPs, like, keywords for like link building. I started to see like Outlook India and stuff in like a month or two ago. So maybe we'll have to get on some Parasite. But yeah, as far as right now, it's not really in our SERPs too much. So I just haven't been focusing on it too much.
All right. And what excites you the most right now to grow or develop your business?
Yeah, I mean, we're basically, we have a ton of untapped potential.
Tell me about it.
For example, like we haven't even fulfilled like our topical cluster for like link building on our website, or like we could grow organic a ton. We are complete noobs with ads. So there's a ton we can do with ads alone. Like if you look at, who is it? Not Rhino Rank, Fat Joe. Like Fat Joe's like entire business model for their link building agency revolves around paid, and they pay like a ton. I can't remember how much they do each month, but it's quite a lot. And so we could make like an entire, we could basically have our entire company just based on ads alone, which we have like barely started to explore. We're complete noobs at email marketing. So we've got the email list of like 5 to 10K people, but we're not like that. It's just kind of like a side thing on our site. Like people don't even know we have an email list.
But you have 5,000 subscribers. That's amazing. 5 to 10 reviews.
Yeah, but we're just lucky, I think. We've just been in the business since like 2017. So people see us on YouTube or whatever. They come to our site and maybe they eventually see a subscribe button somewhere, I guess. I'm not really sure how it works out, but we don't push it at all. And we're not very aggressive with our emailing and stuff. So like we could push that really hard. Also video, like we are on YouTube, but honestly, our channel is extremely low effort. And so what I mean by that is like we do these weekly live streams where we just do Q&A sessions for an hour, right? And then we just cut those videos up and throw them on YouTube with no editing. So it's literally us like answering a question live, no preparation, no video editing, no visuals, just like us like completely, free answering questions. Yeah, so YouTube, it will never grow like the way a YouTube channel that actually gets like love put into it will grow, right? We do the podcast, we do the live streams, but we don't actually do these like super engaging videos, editing, and us like doing lots of screen share and stuff like that. So for example, like Julian Goldie's channel, right? Like, I think he takes like 1 to 2 hours a day to make his daily videos, but they're like so good. It's just him. They're not like super prepared or anything, but he's actually doing stuff on the screen and like showing people how to do stuff that's like super actionable. And so people end up watching through the whole thing because it's good content, versus ours, which is literally just like answering a question real quick, right? With like no visual. So those are like the main things we want to focus on that we haven't really yet. And there's just a ton of potential there. So like right now we're just like doing everything like kind of okay. And this should be like super inspirational for anyone, right? Like if you just do everything kind of okay, and then you like put some like love into your product and like your customer service and stuff, like there's so much money on the internet. It's insane.
Hi, thank you so much for listening to this far into the episode. And if you want to meet successful online entrepreneurs and SEOs just like you, make sure you join the SEO Mastery Summit from April 7 to 11 in the center of Ho Chi Minh City. We'll have over 15 international speakers coming from all over the world and attendees joining to make connections and build their businesses to their best potential in 2024. So our first SEO Mastery Summit event sold out. So make sure you grab your tickets today because we are increasing increasing prices at the end of every single month. So I'll hope to see you there, and let's get back to the episode. Okay. So it applies to anything you say?
I think it applies to like literally any company, like any kind of like online based, kind of like service, whatever company.
Okay, so if you do, I don't know, let's say video editing, kind of okay, but you're really attentive, like you pay attention to your client more, like you have a good customer service and communication, that will set you apart and make your business do well.
Yeah, like if you just do all the things and like all the things that like a normal business would do, right? Like if you just actually try to like be a brand, like a real company that just covers all the bases, like I think anyone can make lots of money on the internet. There's just so much opportunity there. And yeah, you like, so if you have a good product, right, of course it's good. And you can put like lots and lots of love in your product. That will make, things a lot easier. But yeah, just also just doing all the stuff and not even doing it very well is just like such a easy thing to do. And it's so powerful, right?
Okay, that's really, I guess, inspirational for me too. Like
Yeah.
to see, some people think like, oh, I have to be perfect at this thing and then reach out to people and like offer my services or offer my products, but that will just kind of delay the time that you actually pitch yourself.
Yeah, so that's actually something I had big problems with as well, which my business partner helped me get over. I'm definitely way more of a perfectionist, and like if something wasn't just absolutely perfect, I wouldn't want it to go live or release it or whatever. But he was more along the lines of like, basically you're way more critical of your own work than other people are. And when you really measure your product up against other people's products or your content against theirs or your videos against theirs, like what the person who's consuming all of this sees and feels is much different than what you do. And so the idea of just getting it like good and then like shipping immediately or releasing immediately, I feel like is such a powerful thing.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you. And now would like to ask you this question because I think it would be very inspirational for other people. Like you are teaching English and then you build this really amazing business that people in this industry know. But did you know business before? Like while you were teaching English, did you have like any business knowledge or how did you like learn that?
I mean, I had a business minor in college, which basically means nothing.
Yes, it does mean nothing.
Those were by far my easiest classes that I took. So yeah, thanks University of Texas. Shout out to your extremely easy like business minor. But yeah, I mean, as far as, I just basically took the idea of like other companies and other products and stuff that I trusted, and like everything that we would do, I would just like model it off of someone else. How do they handle their customer service? What does their website look at? What does their email marketing look at? All of these answers are actually just, they're there for you to see. Like you don't need like a course or anything, right? You can just literally like, if you just like shop online or like buy services online or whatever, you just kind of get used to how it feels and stuff, and then just try to do that or improve upon things you thought were horrible, or just kind of that idea.
I think that's a great takeaway because people would be paying like tens of thousands of dollars for either a degree, which is like just as useful as your minor, or even like business coaches to start from zero. And like when you start from zero with a big business coach, like you just being in a loss.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of just kind of like learning to do things yourself for sure. I can't say there was like no advantage to going to college. Pretty good for like networking and I don't know, maybe just getting you used to like producing a level of quality work, I guess. Like I guess we call like soft skills. But yeah, you can just teach yourself anything. Like as long as you're like passionate about what you're doing, I feel like it's just like unlimited, absolutely unlimited. Yeah.
How did you find your passion in link building and SEO?
Actually, I didn't want to do link building.
Great.
When I first got into SEO, I was just like, I was going like hard on like client mainly. I had some like affiliate stuff, but I was really interested in client for some reason. It seemed like to me, the money was just easy. I liked the idea of being able to like help someone else's business, like in a very like direct, like hands-on, like kind of full service kind of thing. And I had never considered link building at all really. And it was purely Nick, my partner, who convinced me to do that. So basically when he convinced me to do that, I basically had to like just leave my life behind. I was like left my girlfriend in China, moved back to the US. Just kind of like, we just started like working with like no income and just like building from the ground up, just completely bootstrapped from there.
Wow, that's very inspiring. So like you guys started like from zero and then maybe one or two clients at a time and then you guys build it up like that?
Yeah, just slowly. Like in the beginning, it was just like no sales, right? You're like just getting started, and we were, like hustling on Facebook. We didn't even have like a blog or anything on our site yet. We were literally just like in the Facebook groups, like talking to people and stuff, giving it like helping people that had questions or whatnot, and kind of like throwing in something here and there that, oh, by the way, we sell backlinks or whatever, but not like pushing them too hard, I guess. We weren't like spamming people in their inbox or whatever. We weren't like super aggressive or anything, just a little bit more like casual, kind of helpful approach. And then started the blog and everything, and it kind of just started picking up from there. I don't think we paid ourselves a salary for the first like 6 to 9 months just working. Yeah.
So you guys didn't even pay yourself a salary for
Yeah.
the first.
Yeah, it was a little bit rough.
Yeah.
I actually went back and lived with my mom for a little bit, even though I had enough money to saved up to I could have lived somewhere. But it really bothered me, like the idea of just like bleeding money while none was coming in. So nice enough for my mom, thanks mom, that she let me kind of hang out at her place for a little bit until we got the money kind of rolling in enough to pay ourselves like really like meager salaries in the beginning, and then moved up to Austin, and so I could be closer with Nick. And we built a little like makeshift office like in my apartment and stuff. It was funny.
Okay, and so let's move to the part where you guys build the brand and the community, which where I start to like follow you guys. So for context, if you guys can check out Sir Links a Lot YouTube and Facebook group, you guys can see like how much value Nick and Chris are giving every single week. First, I love the name. I think it's really funny.
I think it was Nick's idea.
And the colors and everything. So
that was me.
Yeah, it's really cool. But you guys also do this like weekly live stream. Like, how did that come to your mind? Like, what was that idea to start a podcast, a live stream? How did it help you? Was that the thing that started your business to take off?
In the very beginning, one of the courses that Nick got started on and then he gave me was called OMG Machines, which now in SEO, I feel like no one really talks about them, but I know they're still around. It's just a group of guys that had kind of like this community and course type thing. And there was a guy on there that I kind of knew him as their PBN guy. His name was Greg Mortensen. And he did this like kind of thing, which he called office hours or something, where basically paid members of the course could just ask him random questions. And so when we first started, we would get these clients and they wouldn't really know what they were doing, right? And we had this very friendly website and everything set up. But at the same time, it was attracting kind of people that didn't know what they were doing and they wanted help, but we didn't want to be like giving this like personal consulting to everyone like all the time, right? We want to just like build links for them instead of like really holding their hand, right? So based on the kind of office hours idea of Greg from OMG Machines and just kind of these large amount of customer service messages that were asking for help, we decided to make the Facebook group as a place where like, hey, we'll answer your question, just post it in the group so that everyone else can see the answer at the same time. So it's basically like the idea of being able to answer customer service, but everyone or a lot of people seeing it at the same time, rather than just spending that time typing the message to one person to see it, right? So basically like the idea of trying to optimize our time.
It's all about efficiency. I love it.
And then so we started doing the live streams just in the Facebook group at that time. And then we're like, well, hey, we're kind of like, we should do it on YouTube as well, because why not? And then, chopping the videos up and throwing them up on YouTube is just like the next logical progression from there.
And then the podcast. So like have so many guests on your shows, and I sometimes steal your guests to my show. So
go steal them all. Everyone we have on our podcast is great and way smarter than us, right? And that's the idea, is that we just wanted to have these. It's good for branding as well, because you get to kind of like be associated with these other people or whatever. But most of the time, like when we have people on our podcast, we're literally asking them on the podcast because we think they're smart, we like them, and we want to ask them questions. And we should have honestly started doing the podcast a lot sooner, and we probably should do more episodes like at a higher frequency, because I feel like it's just such a strong thing. Like people really like video, and it's just really strong for branding and stuff.
Are you guys also available like Spotify and Apple Podcasts?
No.
Okay.
So we should probably do that too.
It just takes like 2 clicks. But yeah,
you're gonna have to teach me. I'll ask you after this.
Okay. So with all like, it's basically organic marketing what you guys are doing with like the live streams and the videos. And is that something you would suggest to new business owners as well?
Get on video.
Okay, get on.
Yeah, I feel like video is so strong. It sounds weird saying this as an SEO because we're primarily concerned with pumping out content and optimizing like written content and stuff. But to be completely honest, I feel like when I search for something, I'm not reading people's articles unless it's like something very specific and like someone I know. Normally when I search for stuff, I'm adding Reddit at the end, or I'm watching a video on like YouTube or whatever, right? Like how about you?
It really depends. Sometimes I feel like as somebody asked me the same question, whether I still read, and I do read because sometimes I read faster and find the answer faster if I read. But if it's a review on something and I want to see the product, it has to be a video. Yeah,
you're right. So probably for like some informational type stuff, I do look at articles a lot, which SGE will probably kill, right? For a lot of the stuff. But I would just say like get on video, do all the things. I think Matt Dady says that, like just do like all the channels, and good customer service, and just like be like very like transparent with everything that you're doing, and have good like FAQs, and just like copy and paste stuff you can like scale, stuff like that.
Yes. And now moving on to you as an entrepreneur, like how big is your team? like to do all that?
So we actually have like a very like strange situation with our team, which a lot of people, I don't think I've met anyone that has a team that's like this. So like as far as people that I deal with directly, there's probably less than 10 people. And then we have a partner in India, which Nick has known for a while, who actually handles a lot of our SOPs. So basically we give them our SOPs, like our processes for stuff. Like this is exactly how we want you to do it. And then they handle like hiring, training, firing, all of that stuff. So we don't even know how many people they have working for us. They just send us a bill like every month, and it's very fair. So we've been able to kind of like take a shortcut on a lot of like this time that would be involved in like managing the team by like outsourcing it in that way.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we can just focus on other stuff.
Wow. Okay. That's also like a great angle. Like a lot of people want to hire and like, get the big team and stuff. It seems like you guys are working with another company to take care of that.
And I haven't met anyone else that's doing that. And no, anyone watching, I'm not going to tell you who it is. Because we love them and we don't want them getting too busy.
Right. But if you do want to get to an outsourcing company, I'll link down aristosourcing.com.
Cool. Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. Right. And my question, what is my next question? Do you consider more yourself? Are you looking at yourself more as an SEO, like the expert, or do you look at yourself as an entrepreneur?
I honestly don't consider myself an entrepreneur at all. I don't even know what that word means. I got into SEO and I fell in love with SEO like immediately. I liked that it was kind of sketchy. I liked like the black hat stuff. Like when I first started, I was like way more into like black hat, like PBN and stuff than I am now. Even though we still respect it, we still like utilize it, but to a much smaller extent and kind of focus on much more like sustainable, kind of like safe stuff versus that super like black hat kind of route. Yeah. So what was the question?
Entrepreneur versus SEO.
Oh yeah. So I definitely consider myself like more of an SEO, but I feel like, so when you're an SEO in the beginning, you're just focused on SEO, right? But the longer you stay in it, the longer you realize I need to do all this other stuff. I need to do email. I need to do good customer service. I need to focus on product more. I need to work on like branding and image. I need to work on email. I need to work on pay. Like you just start doing like all of this stuff, right? So even though like SEO is definitely more of my expertise and I'm way more of an expert in SEO than anything else, like all the other stuff I told you before, I'm just like a total noob on, but you kind of learn about it and you start utilizing it. And even if you can't do it yourself, like it's something you could outsource and you could kind of like know what's going on, right? So right now I'm definitely consider myself an SEO who's also a marketer. But yeah, I mean, I guess in the end, you really just become like a business person, right? I'm a business person who knows how to do SEO.
I love that. Yes, yeah. I love that. When I first started SEO, I think that was I started social media, but I wasn't sure what I was doing. And then I got into SEO and then, learning keyword research, search intent, and, learning all these processes because for SEO, you need to produce a lot on a consistent basis. And I just grew into this marketer. So I definitely see what you're saying when you said you're more an SEO, but then when you do SEO more, you realize you become an overall marketer, digital marketer. And because marketing is so related to eventually sales and like revenue, you eventually become a business mindset person, business person as well.
Yeah. And that's like, we get people asking us a lot, like, what should I focus on? Or like, what's important, that kind of stuff. And we end up auditing a lot of people's websites on our live streams and just people asking us for help in the group and whatever. And probably like the biggest thing that we see people starting where we started and they're only focusing on SEO, which isn't bad. We started there too. But I feel like, especially now, you really have to focus on all the other stuff as well. Like you really need to show Google that you're like a legitimate business, you're a legitimate website. This is like especially geared towards a lot of like affiliate marketers, right? Because they come in with this website with like no love put into it. It's just like they're trying to like scale content as fast as possible. No one would ever click on a link and like convert. It doesn't look trustworthy at all. There's like no kind of brand feel or anything. It's just they're purely focused on SEO and they don't focus on any of the other stuff. And so like our biggest like advice to people is like become the brand, like do all the stuff. Like not only is it good for making like your business successful, but it's good for like your SEO as well. Because Google likes to see all this stuff with like, all the EEAT stuff. They like to see that you're actually like a legitimate business and not someone in their basement who's learned SEO and is trying to get like easy clicks and traffic, right? And convert on affiliate offers. So yeah, it's like my number one advice to people is do all the stuff, become the brand, try to like expand past SEO. That can still be your like focal point, like organic traffic can still be your number one, but you have to put some kind of like energy into the other stuff as well and become a little more well-rounded, especially with all the AI stuff. stuff, SGE coming out and doing this stuff not only will make you more successful as a business and as an SEO, but it also kind of protects you in the future as well, right? With just the way Google is moving. So yeah, it's just very good to be able to diversify your traffic and just to feel a little bit safer and not just super highly dependent on organic, right?
I agree with you, and you are not the only person who has been emphasizing that focus on the brand. And I love how SEOs are slowly shifting to this mindset, which again creates a bridge between a lot of creative people and creative marketers and like performance-based marketers together. So, I have video editing friends, graphic designer friends, and all of a sudden their work becomes a lot more important to website owners as well.
For sure. Yeah. Like once the website owner realizes that, hey, we need to focus on more than just like pumping content, then yeah, it brings all these other people into the mix. I mean, it's good for everybody.
Yeah. It's good for learning management too, because managing different type of people, right? Like managing a creative person versus a very logical person is like completely different.
For sure.
Yeah. So I kind of find myself in that mix right now. I don't know which one am I. Maybe I'm a bit of mix of both.
Yeah, I feel like you're a pretty good mix of both. I can definitely see the creative parts of you in all of your work as well, though. I feel like you definitely have like a strong creative foundation. You're definitely a lot more well-rounded than a lot of SEOs are.
Thanks. Thank you. I mean, podcasting is great for links. So I discovered that.
Yeah, you're going to give us a link, right?
Of course.
Oh man.
Which is why if people would like to find you guys, where can they find you?
Yeah, you could head over to sirlinksalot.co if you're in the market for some backlinks, but we also got like, our content over there, our newsletter, all that stuff. Or you can join us in our Facebook group, SEO Roundtable, or you could just search for Sir Links a Lot. It's not to be confused with SE Roundtable, very different. And then you could, join us on YouTube. You just search for Sir Links a Lot. We're over there making videos and podcasts and stuff.
Amazing. And before we leave off, what is that number one advice you would give to your younger self?
My younger self? I don't know. So I talked to you about this recently, and I was saying, because you're so much younger than me, and I feel like you have such a head start, right? Like by the time you're my age, you're going to be like miles ahead of where I am. And so every now and then I would say, well, I wish I would have started earlier, but I had a lot of fun earlier, so I'm not sure if I would do it or not. But I would probably say like it would be okay. I could have like started like doing some stuff and like developing skills a little earlier instead of teaching English for as long as I did. I don't know if I'd change it or not, but yeah, I mean, starting early is definitely better than starting late, right?
Right, I agree.
So maybe not very good advice, but
it's a great reflection so that people can kind of hear the way you think and the way you reflect. I think that's also very helpful for a lot of people.
Yeah, there's always time to start though. Like I feel like it's never too late either. Like you can always like pick up skills, especially now. Like you don't need school or anything. Like literally just go on the internet and start like studying how people do stuff and do anything. It's crazy.
Amazing. All right. Thank you, Chris, for joining the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been awesome.